Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of this naval guide for Hearts of Iron 4. Maybe a quick recap. In the first part, we're playing as Italy. We took the, the path of the Pope, so we're the Papal State. We did complete World War II and we annexed all of this white stuff. In the previous part, after World War II, we already did a mini naval game by taking on Spain, annexing them, Portugal, annexing them, and Vichy France, and annexing them. The end result is that we have full control of the Mediterranean, so we can close it off at the Strait of Gibraltar and at the Suez Canal. We're not at war with the Russians yet, so here for now we are fine. We have potentially all this white territory, which we will be able to core through the focus. So we're a bit low on manpower. Deploy all these additional ships. We will need additional manpower. We will need a lot of planes. These will also need additional manpower. And we will need some infantry, which obviously will also require additional manpower. How will we do this? This depends on the way your country is set up. For us, I chose to take the papal path. We're about to complete the time for war. Looking at the focus tree, this is the path we took. Took Deus Vult, took Catholic action to temporarily increase the recruitable population to bridge the gap until we get here. If we want to get here, it will allow us to use the Mare Nostrum decision, and following that, we can use several decisions which allow us to core all of these territories around the Mediterranean. To get here, it's 70 days. We need both of these focuses. This one it's almost done. This one it's also 70 days. So in about 140 days, we will be able to expand our manpower. Now, what will the rest of the guide look like? So part 1, it was preparations. Part 2, it's this one. It will be the most informative part. During this part, I will explain how I structure my navy in the game and some techniques I use to get them organized. And in the next part, part 3, it will be a full-on war. So we will go to war with the remaining naval powers, being the United States and the Japanese Navy. These are the two big navies remaining in the game. I have some spies in both Japan and the US to increase our intel level. I also have the Naval Department research, so do that. It will increase your Navy intelligence, which is good. And I'll do the upgrades towards machine-assisted decryption, which will also be good. Let's look at what we're up against. So in the Intel ledger, the Navy Intel is 56%. So we should be able to see some stuff. 300 to 400 ships. So some sizable Navy. We'll try to sink as much of it as we can, except for the carriers. I'm hoping we will be able to steal as many carriers as we can, because they're quite expensive ships, of course. Japan, it's the same story. So we also have a spy here. He's a bit further down the spy path. Looking at the Intel ledger, 62%, 250 to 300 ships. So counting these together, that's quite a sizable set of navies we will be up against. So this part we will do the preparations. However, the game does make some decisions by itself. So the Japanese, they will declare war on the Philippines. They will, following that, declare war on these puppets of ours to get the resources here. They need the oil for their planes and their fleets. So we need to defend these colonies. the German Reich, they have already declared war on the US. They're not doing very well. And they will continue to do badly. But we have some territories here, and we are in their faction. So in fact, we will get pulled into this war. So on top of that, we are approaching the time where the Germans will launch Operation Barbarossa and declare war on the Soviet Union. So if this happens all about at the same time, we would be engaged at the front here. We would be engaged if we join the war at the front here. And we would be engaged at the frontier. It's too much. So we will focus now on upgrading our navy, repairing the navy, upgrading and expanding it. And we will buy time by sending some troops here to defend. Sending some troops here to defend. We will keep this army here in the Middle East, I suppose, because we are in the process of justifying on the Iraqis. So 15 more days. We should not forget to actually declare war and take this territory, because we can also core it. So that is the plan. To do so, it would be good to be prepared, especially US side, Japanese side. We can do it later because we will be in that war a little bit later. So looking at these ports, which ports can we use? We can use these ports. We can use this port. We can use these ports. So they're all, except for the one here in Halifax, there are pretty much low-level ports, so we need to upgrade these. What was the level? Level 2, so we will queue up 2 upgrades. Don't forget to move it to the top of the queue. Probably an infrastructure upgrade will be good as well. Secondly, we can use this port. It's one of our puppets, but we can use it. They will also need an infrastructure upgrade. And it's a level 1 port, so let's give it 2 upgrades. Move it to the top. And lastly, here is the same story. Terrible infrastructure. And level 1 ports, so moving up all this stuff. So it will get built first. And actually, you could quite easily increase the upgrade level of all these ports if you want. For now, this will be fine. We should do the same in the colonies here, so we will be working a lot out of Sumatra and Borneo. Singapore, it will be a matter of defending it. Infrastructure is good, I already upgraded it, maybe this one. The port in Singapore, it's fine. A level 8 or so, yeah, it's a level 8 port. However, these ports are not that great. So for sure, we need to improve them. Good. We will need to build some railways here, but that can wait until we have more factories. I won't move these up yet. Yeah, I will move them up. They would be able to wait, but this way I won't forget it. Work on New Brunswick first. So good. This is perfect. So I will send the troops there to defend. While I do that, let's do some repairs. So we did engage in the previous part some of the navies, the French Navy, the Spanish, and the Portuguese Navy. This caused some damage to our ships. Not a lot of damage because they were inferior navies, but some damage anyway. So to show you how I do it, I will just send them all to port for repairs. They will do it automatically based on their repair policy, which is set to medium and high, depending on the type of the fleet. But to show it, I will do it manually, so sending all of this stuff to port for repairs. That's a training fleet. This is the fleet with the captured ships. So for sure they will be damaged. And then there are all of our submarines. We're repairing these also. And they will all happily move to port and start repairs. So what is the problem? If you go to the military production queue, so you can see we have 10 dockyards available for repairs and all of them are fully used. It's normal because we send all these fleets for repairs at the same time. And as you can see, it's quite a bit of ships which need repairs, about 20, 30, about 40. So even if I put this at 40, it will not increase much more than this. Why? Because the repair slots are fully filled. So here we have 17 ships in Gibraltar. Of course, you can wait. It's only a day. They're minor repairs. It's just for showing you how I do it. So what we want to do is actually spread out these repairs to other ports, preferably bigger ports, because they have more repair slots. In this case, the fleets at Gibraltar, we could take Cadiz and Casablanca. The trick here is finding the name of the port. If it's shown like this, it's the correct name, but the name of the port does not always match the name of the tile, so it can be a bit tricky. What we will do is send some ships from Gibraltar to Cadiz. So we need to actually find Cadiz. Ports are not alphabetically sorted. So I have the impression that the way they are sorted, it's in the order that you annex the countries they're in. So we need some Spanish. Cadiz, it was Spanish, so let's look for Spanish ports. Need to be a bit careful here that you don't miss it. French, UK, Ireland, Netherlands, Spain. Here it is. Once you assign a single ship, the port will be moved to the top of the list. So once you have one ship, it's easy to add more. I'll add 5. And one more. One over the limit is fine. We'll also pick Casablanca, which is not far away. Locate Casablanca. Should be coming up. It's here. So again, add some ships, and if you do it like this, you get rid of both bottlenecks. So the first bottleneck, it's the size of the port they're repairing in. It only has so many repair slots. You can work around this by moving ships towards another nearby port with a lot of repair slots, preferably. This is why I increased the port level in the Pacific and in the US. Secondly, don't forget to also increase the size of the repair queue. So we should now see that all these ships start moving towards other ports. And we're repairing too fast. Unfortunately, they're only minor repairs. So they're repairing faster than they can move to another port. However, you can see that if you're not talking about 1 or 2 or 3 days, but weeks or maybe even months, depending on the damage taken, that this will allow you to repair much more ships at the same time and decrease it a bit. So this way you can avoid fleets being in port for months on end because there's one a harbor with too few repair slots. And actually you will see these numbers increasing all the time instead of just sitting there because they're waiting for a free slot. Once the ships are repaired, they will get the icon which depicts their orders again, so that way you can see that they're undergoing repairs. This is because typically the automatic split off, I disable it. If you enable it, you have a single ship going to port and the task force can continue its mission. However, that single ship, if it gets intercepted, it will get sunk. And since it's already damaged, it will probably get sunk quickly, which is why I do it this way, except for the submarines, because they have low visibility. So here I do have the automatic split off enabled, which means that they can continue their mission. It looks like there are no repairs here actually. So that is the way I do it, and that is also why you need to increase these port levels. I'll make a quick save. So waiting for Iraq, I'll quickly send the armies and increase the game speed when I do this. So that way it's done. As I said, we have a limited set of ports available here. And the US Navy, it's really operating in large part here in the Caribbean and this part of the Atlantic. And this means that it's tough for us to reach them. Because these sea areas, we have a port. These sea areas, we have a port. Here we have a port. So this is all doable, but the eastern seaboard or the Sargasso Sea, let alone the mid-Atlantic, it's a little bit away. It would be good if we had 1 or 2 ports here across the eastern seaboard, which is why I am taking this offensive task force. We will be going to war in the US first anyway, so I will be taking this this offensive army, and I will set them up here, close to supply, and try to cut off a part of the US Army and take a port. So let's check the supply. There is supply. Yeah, this is not very good for us. There's no supply here. So I could go for Boston, or I could go for New York. I will play it safe. Go for Boston. Excellent. Not much planes to deploy, I suppose. Nope. We need to wait a little bit. Looking at the production, you see that we will also need quite a bit of extra military factories to get all these planes produced. There's 5 more here. The CAS, for sure we will need more CAS than what we're building now. So this by itself is already 20 additional military factories which we'll need. What have we got queued up? 19. We will need a little bit more than that. One of our objectives it will be to decrease the independence of Yugoslavia, so we will try to build them there. Looks like we already had this plan. We need to increase the infrastructure, which will also count for building against their independence. Just make sure to build in the Yugoslavian territories. And if you do it this way, you do not necessarily have to send them a bunch of equipment. Is this Yugoslavia or it is Hungary? We'll leave the Hungarians be for now. So once these infrastructure upgrades are done, quite a bit of stuff to construct. All these ports, we need the military factories, we need this stuff, or they will declare they will get too much independence. It's the US ports, and then we are at what we just queued up, so we need to do all that. So we're good for construction for now. For the doctrines, typically you would pick doctrines whenever available. However, we will be upgrading a lot of the templates of our Navy, so we will not pick any naval doctrines, even though this would typically be a good thing to do. So we won't do it this time. Besides a need for planes, we also have a need for trucks, it seems. So, yeah. Even more mills, I suppose. So we really need these upgrades in Yugoslavia. And let's see, did I forget something? Nope, don't think so. Okay, so good. Next bit of information in this guide. Setting up the Navy. So we have a sizable Navy, but it's chaotic. And again, you don't need to do this. You can play the game entirely by just using your Navy to get naval superiority, starting naval invasions, if you even want to do that. And just put your Navy on hold again to avoid it getting sunk. However, that is not the path we have chosen. We have chosen to focus on the Navy, so we need to properly set up our Navy. So what I do is I always set up a separate training area. In this case, I can set it up in a safe spot in the Mediterranean, because the Mediterranean is ours, obviously. Beginning of the game, you cannot do this. So pick something where chances of your ships getting engaged are slim. And what I do is I set up a fleet. I give that fleet, it does not need an admiral. I give that fleet an easily recognizable icon. So I put them all in yellow here with a lightning thingy here. I give the fleet the name Train. And within that fleet, I set up task forces for every ship type. For these task forces, pick also an icon you can recognize and you can stick to. So for my destroyers, I've picked this trident. For the subs, I picked the sub icon. For the light cruisers, I picked this explosion thing. For the capital ships, I picked the big gun. And then this is a bit special. I picked a crab sign because they're all crappy ships. So what do the crappy ships do? They're not good for much. They're doing a mine sweeping gear. Upgrading these ships, it will take a lot of industrial points. So we will actually be using these low quality ships. Change the icon to a crab because it's a crappy ship. It's no cost. And with these ships, what I do is I set them up for convoy escort and do not engage setting. So it's just to protect our convoys, to scare away the enemy subs. If these destroyers get sunk, they're low cost and they're crappy, so it doesn't matter that much. Besides this theater, with this specific setup, I also pick another theater for subs. Subs and escorts. And then I pick a third theater for my strike forces. Why do I do this? This way I can put the reserve fleet from which these task forces will reinforce. I can put only crappy destroyers here so that I don't waste any good destroyers on these task forces. You can do it by setting the ship type, but it's just an additional safety measure. And I also put the reserve fleets of the subs here. So this way, these two kind of ships are a bit specific. They have their own dedicated reserve fleet, and we cannot make mistakes this way. For the strike forces, they contain the strike forces. They also contain escort task forces. So the idea is that the escort task forces, they patrol and they look for enemy ships. This combined with the Navy intel from the spies, and by adding some fighters or scout planes to the sea zones will give us an increased chance of spotting enemy navies. Once an enemy navy does get spotted, one of the nearby task forces on strike force will try to intercept it and try to sink it. Settings to be used. As I said, automatic split off disabled. Automatic reinforcement enabled. We do want these fleets to replace some ships. Repair priority medium. If you put it too high, it will be import for repairs too much. Engagement at low risk. These are not the fighting ships, but we do want them to engage if they find a low strength enemy. For the strike forces, it's almost the same, except that they will engage at medium risk. So as you can see, strike force icon is missing on these three task forces. It's because they're doing repairs. 82%. Yeah, 86%. These capital ships, it takes, this one will be finished in, no. Yeah, this one will be finished first, I suppose. So here for the reserve fleets, you put the quality ships to replace the sank ships. Now, ship replacements, the capital ships, you want to try not to lose them because they're expensive. So I put the destroyers and the light cruisers, the screening ships here. If if they get sunk, they can be replaced. So, what do we need to prepare further? We will be upgrading our ships. To upgrade ships, you need something upgradable. So we need to look at the research tree. I'm researching this again because it's a bit specific. This is a prerequisite for one of the focuses here. So we want to reach new industrialization program. It increases our consumer goods factories factor. This is useful. The stuff which is needed to get there is not so useful, but it's a prerequisite, so we will pick this one. I suppose it will give us factories and naval bases. To pick this one, we need to have this one, and it requires, as a prerequisite, has research synthetic oil experiments, which is why I'm researching it. The submarine is also a bit specific, so the most useful thing for us to do is to research these upgrades. They're low, they're quick to research, and they're immediately useful, and they're needed to be able to research these upgrades, which are still relatively quick to research, and we can put them on all our ships. Increased torpedo launcher, we can put it on all our ships. So these are all upgrades we can do. These two, they're very useful. We should do it. It takes a little bit longer. Besides that, obviously, passive sonar will be useful. Active sonar, it's an upgrade we can install on our destroyers. So on the destroyers, I typically put the sonar, and on the light cruisers and the capital ships, I put the radar. Depth charge throwers, it will be a very useful upgrade for our destroyers once you have it researched. So this is all good stuff to research. Why the 1940 submarine? Researching the snorkel is a very useful upgrade for the subs. The 1940 submarine, it's a prerequisite, but also we would like to build the fleet submarines because it's price-wise, it's a better balance for constructing them. These need to be investigated first through a special project. However, to research the fleet submarine, you need a naval engineering facility. To research the fleet submarine, it has as a prerequisite the cruiser submarine. So you first need to research the cruiser submarine. And another prerequisite is the 1940 submarine hull. So if you have these two, then you can do the special project for the fleet submarine later. So we will do all that. And last but certainly not least, we are approaching the point where we will have investigated the radar, which will also be a useful upgrade to put on our ships. So what can we do for now? We can restructure this. This will all take some time. We can restructure a bit our fleet so that it's properly organized. We will expand the size of these fleets. We will maybe add some patrol fleets, and we will make sure that the reserve fleets are properly filled up with ships. So, what is the advantage of doing it this way? Anything you put here, it will continuously train. So if you have a ship to be trained, you just move it to that fleet, done. So for example, we captured these ships during the past wars. 7 destroyers, just moved them to the destroyer task force, which is in training. Destroyers and subs, yeah, just double click this ship type. Trainable destroyers. So I use the shield icon for a destroyer I would like to use for sinking subs. This we will need to replace this. What remains? 7 not so useful destroyers, probably. Oh, it's a crab destroyer. I changed the icon and move it to the crappy fleet. What remains? 1 more destroyer. Move it. Only subs remaining. Move it to the subs. So just right-click the destination training task force. Done. Last own task for these are all capital ships. Not too much. And select the others. Moving to the capital ship training task force. Destroyers to be trained. More destroyers to be trained. One more destroyer to be trained. And the rest are submarines. Right-click the subs. And it is done. Now, for setting up the reserve fleets, we should make sure that these are close by. So the reserve fleet in the training theater, I use it for constructing new fleets, not for replacing ships here. That would be not very useful. So here the automatic reinforcement is disabled and the split up is enabled. Otherwise, task force in training, if it needs one ship to be repaired, it would stop training all the others. So these are in, they're all here. So you can see it by the icon, five guys on training exercise. We have 5 task forces, and these Julia, Var, and Holland. So the one in Var, it's in the south of France, and in Holland, they're too far away, especially the one in Holland. So to move them all at the same time, you cannot click the fleet and move them. You need to select the individual task forces. So it's these 2 guys, and we will move them also closer to the training zone. Why do we do this? I'll show it with the light cruisers. They're already in the correct port. We have several trained up. So the ones which are trained, we move them towards the corresponding reserve fleet in the training theater, and it will be quite quick for them to move, if not instantaneous. So they're moving up, it's done. Now I will do the same with the other 2, but they're still moving towards the correct port, so it will take a little while. Maybe take the destroyers first, they're almost there. So all the destroyers which have finished training, I would like to move them to the destroyer reserve fleet. So unfortunately, you cannot select a whole bunch of ships. You can double click it and work with the hull type. But in this case, you cannot do it because it will select all the ships, also the ones that are untrained. So you really would need to click them one by one. I use a little trick, so I split the fleet in 2. So make sure to select the split off fleet, not the original training fleet. And all the ships which still need training, move them back to the original training fleet. This works well if most of the ships are already trained, and again, just click. Same trick. All trained. No, this one is not. Moving. Yeah. I guess we can do it one more time. 19. Only 1 to be moved. Click, click, clickety click. Not a lot of them remaining. I'll just select all the trained ships and move them towards the destroyer reserve fleet. Looks like I forgot some, or oh no, these are reinforcements. So keep an eye on things, because as you can see, sometimes it jumps out of the reserve fleet. So 149 destroyers, they should all be trained, they are not. So something weird happened there. Oh. So as in other parts of the game, there is some weirdness here also. For the are these capital ships? They are not yet at Abruzzo. I will do the crappy ships first. So 33 crappy ships. He's back. And this is the advantage if you pick icons, then you can immediately, the new fleet, it will get the same icon as the one it split off from. So in this case, I will not send the fleet to the reserve fleet because I don't use it for constructing ships. I only use it here, so I send it immediately to the reserve fleet. The subs and escorts together. Yeah, I'll just click select the other ones. Move them. Okay, good. The submarines, it's a lot of submarines. 62, not all trained. Scrolling. Move them immediately towards the submarine reserve fleet. Where is it actually? It's at Puglia, so it's also quite close by. Good news. And actually what you can do now is all the untrained submarines, you can move them to a new task force. These are all trained. Some untrained ships. You could just train the subs on. However, if you train the subs, now we can do it because we are not at war. But if you're at war, it's not a good idea to train your active fleets. And actually, I do like to put them to a new task force within the theater they're operating in, because sometimes there's a bit of buggy stuff going on, and it will move the wrong fleet to another task force, and you will have training fleets being merged with operational fleets and stuff like that. So that's not good. I should have. Yeah, so good. Now, these. What happened here actually? So, why they will get all these subs are heading towards this training fleet, this reserve fleet, and yes, they are. So if you move ships out of the submarine task forces, they will just pick, if they're properly configured, that is, they will just pick new ones from the reserve fleet. Oh, I like to have 15. And all the ones they will be picking, they will be from the, this is a buggy thing. Should have been more like this. So they will pick reinforcements from this fully trained set of ships once they arrive. Should not be long. And at the same time, these ships which still need to be trained, so you should not move them to the reserve fleet. We're seeing some bugginess here. You can just move the entire thing to the training fleet for the subs and be done with it. Well, there was that one untrained sub, which I suppose this one, no. We use the same trick. Click, click, click. Go train and put it to 15. So sometimes you move a ship out of the task force and it changes the limits. Sometimes it doesn't. It's very annoying. And yes, these guys will get reinforcements. It should start picking up reinforcements from the reserve fleet. Not quite. They're still moving. So once it hits the harbor, so there are the reinforcements. So these ships will get reinforced with fully trained ships. So you can actually swap out the untrained ships quite easily and replace them with trained ships if you have enough trained ships, that is. What is the advantage of doing it this way also? Everything here, it is stuff waiting to be trained. So the numbers you see here are ships which are not quite fully trained yet, which is why it's important to clean them up. Capital ship thing has arrived, so we can move all these capital ships for the capital ship reserve fleet. Two more. These ones are training, these ones are training, these guys are, well, low on light cruisers here. These, oops, 112. I'll do it a second time. So quite a lot. 56. So you can have this also. It's debatable in this case whether it would not have been quicker to just select them. Well, it would have been quicker. So the majority of ships are untrained, and this is not a way to go. 40-12, one more. Maybe I should scroll down. It's a bit of work. There we are, 28 remaining. Move towards the sub-reserve fleet. 56. Yeah, I'll try it second time, why not? Let's hope that we have a lot of, we do not have there. A lot of untrained ships. Well, clicking the clicker. Great. There you go. Destroyers are all training, I suppose. Yes, they are. So we will let them train for a bit. Now, what remains for this part? It is to upgrade our ships where we can, and to also increase the size of the task forces. So ideally, we would have a task force with carriers, maximum 4. If you use more than 4 carriers, you will have a negative bonus. A lot of rules exist. What the rule that I use is for every carrier, you need a capital ship. And for every capital ship you need, I use 5 screening ships, but the minimum is 3. So if a capital ship has 3 screening ships, it is fully screened. Unless one of these ships gets sunk, then the screening line is broken. So that's why I use 5 or even 6. If you don't have the screening line, all your capital ships will get torpedoed. And if the capital ships are gone, then the carriers will get torpedoed. So it's important to have these 2 battle lines fully filled. So what do we have here? 4 carriers. We have at least 4 capital ships. We even have 6. So that's good. 6 capital ships times 5 means we need 30 screens. We have exactly 30 screens. So this is the minimum for this fleet. When we look at the screening ratio, so 40 fleet strength. I would like to get these fleets up to around 50 in every case. So what can we do? We could just add ships to it and see what happens, but I think it's more efficient to build a mini task force which is fully screened. So we will wait for these reinforcements to reach. Where is this guy? Ah, yeah, it's the one from Holland. Time for war. We are getting there. Take the focus here, the Holy Lands. Yeah, Palestine, we shall see about you. Start 70 days plus 70 days, and we can increase our manpower. What's the story with Iraq? 40 more days. 45 even. This will all come together actually at pretty much the same time. So 45 days for Iraq. Research-wise, in 90 days we will have the 1940 sub. We will be able to start researching the ship upgrades, which will take another 60 days. Yeah, this is all pretty good. The ports will be upgraded. We will have increased our military factory count, so we will be able to increase our fighter production counts. It will be good. So, building a miniature task force. What is this guy? So this sometimes happens, as you can see. Again. Looks like cruiser submarine. It's the prerequisite. We don't care about the cruiser submarine. Well, I don't. It's a long-range submarine. It's just something we need to do. We will have the radar in... how long did it take? Yeah, 74 days. So this is also getting there. Yeah, in 2 months. We will be able to do great things. I'll put the speed at 4. We're not at war. Let me quickly check these troops. So the US guys, they're moving to the US. 22 days, so again in a month. Stuff will happen here. One day, but they still need to cross the Atlantic. These will be... it will take a bit more time, I suppose. 1 day, 20 hours across the Indian Ocean. 34 days, so again in a month, these troops will be able to start entrenching here. We will be able to send fighter planes. Also in about a month, I suppose. The Yugoslavians, 400 points remaining. Yeah, it will be about a month. Hopefully, we can get a new spy. Not a great spy, but a spy nonetheless. What is our US guy doing? 42%. We could add a second one to speed it up. We need 50% to start a collaboration government. We're doing great. Now, yeah, it's docked finally. So, I would like to add some additional artillery to these carrier task forces. We have 1 battleship, 3 battle cruisers. I'll just pick battleship and 2 heavy cruisers. Put them to a separate, so buggy stuff again. Put them on a separate line here. Assign them an icon. I'll do that for the other carrier group also. Battle cruiser, 2 heavy cruisers. So you don't have this bug as often if you move it to a task force first within the same fleet and then move that fleet to another fleet. Guns. No automatic reinforcements, and let's add screening ships. So 5 capital ships, we need 15 training ships. Why are these light cruisers not training? Maybe we have some light cruisers, but I definitely would like to use 2 of them for additional patrol things. 1, 2, yeah, we can maybe add a light cruiser. So you can do it this way, or you can set the fleet limits and just pull them from the reserves. I'll do it for fun. So our light cruiser is already has already joined with the fleet. So we need 15. We have 1. We need 14 more. We'll add 14 destroyers. Pick the correct ship type. So big tip. There's an enormously annoying bug that if you pick the any destroyer type icon, which would be easy, then sometimes the task force gets the reinforcement, and the reinforcement gets sent back to the reserve fleet, and it gets sent back to the task force and back to the reserve fleet, and so on and so forth. So to avoid that, use the correct icon. 14, I think it was. So 15, yeah, we'll add 2 more for good measure. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 16 will do. Here, let's do it by hand here. So 14 destroyers to be added. And it does the same thing. 3, 1, 14. Ah, yes, I added 2 more. I have 2 more here also. Let's try it. Yeah, no, bug not happening. So now we want to add this entire task force to the carrier group. To do that, if you add it, it will get sent to the, will get added to the carrier group. And because of the limitations you set on it, it will get sent immediately to the reserve fleet. So either you move the task force to the reserve fleet and increase the limits, it will pull the ships from the reserves, or you add the task force to the ship, you add the smaller task force to the bigger one, and you then increase the limit so that they match up. Or, and I think this is easiest, you remove the automatic ship replacement rule. Reset all requirements to 0. Do it here also. So if you do it this way, you can now add it. It will join up. Here. Not far away. We'll go quickly. No, Turkey, you are not ready yet. So there you are. The carrier group is now I'm still waiting. A bit further away. So the carrier group is now 60 in size. However, you need to reset the limits. So open the task force editor. Set the template from the current composition of the task force, which is what we want. And we have upgraded our task force. It's done. I was too impatient. Good balance. So I picked 2 battle cruisers, 2 heavy ships. Avoid the bug by staying in the same fleet. Moving it to a training fleet. Change the icon. 4 capital ships. This means we need 20 screening ships. Ideally, they would include light cruisers, but no, not trained yet. So we will use destroyers. So 20 destroyers. Add them to the fleet. Fleet of 24, 4 capital ships, fully screened, and we'll add them to this task force. Remove the replacement settings. Add it to the fleet, so 20 plus 2 plus 2, okay. Sailing away towards Gibraltar. So what we could do to speed it up is to move the fleet in Gibraltar closer. It should converge at about the same time in years, and it's done. It's there they are. So 57 with the limits to current composition of the task force, and that's it. I'll create 2 escorts, 2 patrol fleets. Ideally, it would be 2 light cruisers and 4 destroyers, but we don't have enough light cruisers. So we'll just pick 1. Click, click, move to a separate fleet, change the icon, split them up into 2 fleets. The wrong, and well, we could just add the destroyers, but I'll use the thing. Adding 4 destroyers, 5 actually. So the size of the patrol fleets, it depends on how many ships you have available. I like task forces of 6, but in the beginning, obviously, you won't have as many ships, so you might use task forces of 2 or 3 destroyers. They will be reinforced. Move them towards the patrol fleet. Give them the patrol order. Check the settings of the fleet. So yes, some inconsistencies. They will be at low risk engagement. I'll just do it here. The repair priority will be medium. And the rest is okay. So there you go. And let's build a new strike force. Unfortunately, only heavy cruisers are remaining. Some battleships about to be trained. Let's wait until they're trained. We'll begin with 6 heavy cruisers. Change the icon. I'll add destroyers manually. 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have done it automatically. I'll do it automatically. It'll be quicker. 6 heavy cruisers, meaning 6 times 5 is 30 escorts. Got to change it. Wait a little bit. There you go. Task force of 36. It's not great. Could improve when we add some battleships. I'll just add them. I'll add the untrained ships. So typically, you would not do this. 3, that means 15 more destroyers. Here also remove the requirements. Let's join up. Reset the requirements. And 2 extra battleships, meaning 10 more escorts. So 8 times 5 equals 40. For good measure, add a few more. Okay, 52. So add it to the strike force fleets. That's the settings. And that is okay. So what remains is to configure our escort crappy ships fleet. Doesn't have a commander, so we'll assign a commander. These are probably best kept for our fleets. We'll take a new one. And for escorts, it's a matter of having them be there. They don't actually need to engage. So the mere fact that they are present will scare off enemy submarines. So, which is why I configure them for not engaging the enemy. They will automatically reinforce. Certainly never split off. They can be on repair priority high, and do not engage. So, how many do you need? It depends on the amount of convoys you need to protect. We'll be going to war with the US, which means that we need to protect our supply lines across the Atlantic. We'll protect these 3 zones. So you don't need 3 fleets like with the patrol fleets. You could pick 1 fleet, but if it goes to port for repairs, you will have nothing left. So I prefer to split it up a little bit. These 2 are need to train. Add up to the training. think you see it's easy this way. Huh? I just add 2 more. Move them. Change the icon. Split them up. That's the. Oh, yes. Again. Always the same. We'll begin with a task force of 6. So that's 15 ships out of the reserves. Good. But there you go. Anything trained yet? No, not yet. Any submarines trained? They are trained to some degree. Move the train subs to the reserves. And what you can do now is I think the fleets here. Oh, no, we did it already. So we swapped out the untrained subs for trained subs. Good, very good. This means where is this? The 5 ships are coming in. So what we will do is within this theater for subs, we will create a second fleet. The first fleet, it will handle the shipping across the Atlantic. Maybe this fleet. Rename it Atlantic. And here all orders, right click the trash can. Give them the convoy raiding order. They can raid convoys here, here. Yeah, we have 7, so we'll be able to do 10 sea regions or something. 7, 8, 9, 10. Moving to our assigned fleet area. Let's see how they do. So until they're all operating, you can check the progress here under the icon. So 14% efficiency is because they're not all operating in the assigned fleet regions yet. So currently we would be able to ask for only 3 regions, so this will also increase once they're all operating actively. 2 more. 1, no, 2 more. Speed it up a bit. Yeah, they need to get there, it's taking a while. The radio interception group. So finally we can pick the machine-assisted decryption. After that we'll go for Air Force Department. Checking again, how are these guys doing? It's still on the way towards the destination. 17 days, yeah, they're getting there.
Atento.
Here also crossing the Atlantic, I guess. Yes. Oh, they're almost there. So, yes, assign these guys maybe the patrol order. So they were going to patrol these. Depends on how our supply will flow. We'll take these 5 regions, maybe. So, yeah, also moving to a Sun Fleet area. If the subs get there, only these ones. They have a way. Oh no, they're almost there. Up a little bit. Yes, they are there. So if you check the icons now, convoy raiding, so they can escort, they can raid convoys in up till 11 regions. Currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 assigned, so we could pick 1 more. And let's do so. We will pick Shall we pick? We'll pick maybe this one, and they will be at 100% efficiency. 99. 11.1 regions. It will get there, I suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They should get there. These guys are operating, yeah, so 46% efficiency. It really depends on the amount of traffic they need to protect. So create some fleet so that you can lose one or two due to repairs without losing the full efficiency. Congo is escorted to 181 and we can escort 259. Yeah, maybe we need to wait a little bit. It's increasing. So it should reach 100. And let's build a second submarine fleet for intercepting traffic in the Pacific. So we will need, let's build 4 task forces. Click, assign an admiral, new guy. Yes, the bug again. Always. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reserve or split. Automatic reinforcement, split off, yes, it's a setup. Repair priority high, yes, it will split off. Agent medium risk, okay, good. Admiral assigned, will pick 16. That way I can control click 3 times and be done with it. There you are. So that's 4 times 15, it's 60, 30 subs are remaining. So we will need these guys once they're trained. Assign them the order. Convoy raiding. So we don't have enough subs to hunt in the entire Pacific. Also, we don't have any ports here. So what we will do is actually, no, not this one. We will 1, 2, 4. We should be able to take. Let's start with 4. And give them the order, and they will start moving. You'll see if 4 ships, if 4, now we can take 6, I guess. Not these. Let's see if these 4 sub-task forces can cover 6 sea zones. It should be possible. And okay, so let's see if I have everything. Unrated patrol fleets, second sub, that's not patrol fleet. Okay, so let's see what we managed to do. We did send up our training theater. We named, gave them an easily recognizable icon and name. We can use this to deploy easily our newly built fleets. I'm not certain if I mentioned this before. So these ships in training, they need to deploy somewhere. If you don't choose anything, they'll be on automatic and it could appear anywhere. And I find it easiest to assign them not to a port, but to a fleet. That way they will, when built, arrive immediately in the training fleet and start training up. So, for example, this cruiser, we have some extra dockyards, so I can show you. Let's build an extra cruiser and destroyer line. The destroyer and the cruiser. We'll assign them all the remaining dockyards. And there you go. So they're automatic. It will pick a port somewhere and will deploy them there. Better to put them on train, light cruiser, train, destroyer. And once built, they will get sent immediately into training. You don't forget about them. We can easily swap out ships that need to be trained and put fully trained ships in there, send the other ones to the training fleet. We can easily build new task forces. We can easily expand the size of new task forces. So we're pretty good. What is also important to mention are these carriers. So ideally you would have a carrier-based fleet. I'll quickly go over it again. Actually, we could, these guys are, I forgot to give them the untrained battleships. So I forgot to give them the order, but anyway, let's train these fleets. So you should train these fleets in the training theater, but we're not at war, so just remember to stop training them when you're at war. They can train up a little bit. So if you look at task force containing the carriers, you can either select all the airplanes of all the carrier-based task forces in the fleet, or you can pick all the airplanes within this task force. So what I do is I add them to an air group. So you can see the 4 carriers here. They're fully loaded. Yes, that's good. And all the planes are fully trained. That's even better. We'll have the 4 other carriers here. 60 out of 60, 50 out of 60. Get rid of this one. And 50 out of 60 and 60 out of 60. So we'll add. You have your naval bomber, fighter. We'll add some naval bombers. And it will show you only the carrier-capable fleets here. So, approved carrier naval bomb, yes. Then, add them. You need to add them to the air group. Deploying. And we would like to train these fleets, these air wings. To do that, the HMS Glorious was this task force, I guess. Yes. So to do it, it needs to be doing something. If it's in port, you cannot train the air wings on the decks, but they are training these ships, so they're out at sea. I've just moved them towards the sea zone or put them in patrol mode or whatever. Or like on train like we do now, but make sure that they're not in an active sea zone when you're at war. We'll either do it here or through the air wing. And since that's sea, we will be able to train the planes. And there you go. So make a quick save here. The remaining thing to be said here is to how to upgrade the task forces. We will not be able to do much spectacular things because we need to have stuff researched. We went over it before, but what is definitely interesting is the radar. To do the radar, you need to I've completed the radar special project. Almost there. 1 month remaining. By the way, how is the situation in Iraq? 10 more days. Pretty good. So radar, it's a good one. The 1940 submarine, it's a good one because it allows you, it's a prerequisite for the snorkel also. It's a prerequisite together with a cruiser submarine special project for the fleet submarine special project. So a good one to research. This will be a good one, but not that urgent yet. This will be one we need to take because we can fit it on our destroyers. The most interesting upgrades are here, so we should pick these three. We get the effects immediately, and it's a prereq for getting these four. They're fairly quick to research, and they're upgrades we can put on every single ship. Improved torpedo launcher, it's also an upgrade we can put on all the ships that have torpedoes. The magnetic detonator, it's a good one, we will get the effects immediately. These two, not useful for upgrades, but very useful for research focuses because they provide good bonuses. Definitely, if you don't have it, go for the landing craft because you will be able to do 20 naval invasion capacity instead of 10. And yeah, we need to wait, I guess, for these upgrades. 12 days we will be able to do something. Until then, how's our pushing queue going? Yeah, it's getting there, it's getting there. So until then, just to show you the mechanism, we will do some ship upgrades. So if you do a ship upgrade on an active fleet, all the ships which go to port to be upgraded will be removed from the fleet temporarily. So only do that if the fleet is large enough and is still sufficiently screened. I think much better to do the upgrades on the ships in the training theater. So ideally, you would, to do an upgrade, you need to have a template. So how you go about it, let's say we want to upgrade this single destroyer template we have. We could never upgrade the shields and never upgrade the engines. It's too expensive. Better to just build a new hull. So yeah, it's upgrading the anti-air. Refit costs 200, so that's certainly less than building a new one. We'll just soon we'll be able to add radar, and the template is upgraded, and now you can use it. So the 36 destroyer, the Italian 36 destroyer. It's not the UK 36 destroyer. I seem to be 2 submarines here. Seem to be missing them, in spite of previous advice. Upgrade them within the active fleets then, if I can find them. This one, it could be that one. No, it's 36 destroyer. This is the early destroyer. This is one. So you can see when you hover over it, I will be getting the improved anti-air. Yeah, why not? I'll do it. It's not very efficient this way, but it's just to show you how it works. Yes. Also, all UK ships which we have stolen. Dutch ships, UK ships. So the problem is that if you look at the ship details, it does not mention you the country it was originally from. So it even does not mention the exact hull. So this is just it's an early destroyer, A, B, C, D class. So you need to HMS, so probably this will be a UK hull. You cannot upgrade these hulls with your own templates, you need the original template. Really wondering where all our destroyers are. I should have done the early destroyer. Ah, it's no. Yes, so you can change the template like we did before from the production thing. So if you show the outdated templates, you will see the early destroyers. What you can also do is was the other one, I guess. Was it this one? No. I had it open. I should have kept it open. All UK. This one then. It is. So double click them, select the same hull size. You can also do it here. Go to design and add stuff. We'll do a full upgrade, except for the engine. So 520, 240. We will add anti-submarine warfare twice. So yeah, for a little, it's a third of the cost. Save 16, so you can see we don't have a lot of naval XP. We will get a lot of naval XP after some of our coming big naval engagements. 16 it is. Double click it again. You can do it ship by ship here. Better to do all the ships, I suppose. And is this what we created? Yes, it is. So cost of 7,000, 8,000 even. If you select them, they will all go to ports. So it's taking them. You need to do the upgrades in one of your own ports. Refitting. These guys are moving towards Sicilia. How far away are they? Not very far, so they're there. And now they're refitting. So if you look at your production queue, the naval production queue, you will see that they have moved to the end of the queue. So this means as long as you don't have all these extra dockyards, nothing will happen. So what I do is you can easily see the ships you're constructing as opposed to the ones you're upgrading. If you have put them all in a training task force, you've given them all a differently colored icon, and you see the unlimited sign, you know that these are ships in your training fleet. So what we will do is we'll move these all to the bottom and reassign their dockyards to the to-be upgraded ships, because they will get upgraded much faster than we can build new ships. So unfortunately, there's no way to do it automatically. But either you send all the other ships to the top, but they will be to the #1 spot in the production queue, so even in front of the infantry here and the tanks. Or you move the other ships to the bottom, which is what I typically do. So just shift click and keep shift clicking them until you reach the convoys. There you go. So nothing will get upgraded unless there are some ports available for the upgrades. What I do is I put all the dockyards at 1 and I do not again. So you can see here that you would really benefit from building additional dockyards. And what will happen is that these upgrades will now start happening 8th of May. So that's in 2 weeks. It's in 10 days. So that will be fairly quickly. And once the first is done, the dockyards will become free and they will move towards the next one in the queue. So you can do this for your subs, for your capital ships also. We won't do the capital ships now because we don't have enough juicy stuff yet. I much prefer to change the templates from within this screen, but it seems okay. Not much to be done there. Yeah, well, all the better. So if you were to pick the HMS Starfish, for example, which is one we got from the UK, you might not be able to upgrade it. We'll see. Rid of the engine upgrade. It's 200. It's a fair price. Save 6. You will lose the points, but I'm guessing we will not be able to actually do the upgrade, and we are not. Why is this? This will be it's a ship we stole based on a hull design of another nation, so it's not actually our hull design. So if that nation still has enough naval XP, you will actually be able to do the upgrade. However, if that is not the case, you will see that you have just lost the points. What should we do? Maybe pick one that's did not have a lot of subs. Well, let's take this one. So early submarine OPR class. If you no longer have the original country as a puppet, you cannot do the upgrade. But we kept UK with some puppet territories. I forgot the whole was the early submarine OPR class. So you need to get the request license production to get a template. So you will not be able to get templates for ships which are too far away research-wise from what you have. So for that reason alone, it is a good idea to research the 1940 hulls of the destroyer and the light cruiser. And we will see, hopefully, some submarine templates here, probably at the bottom. OPR class, early submarine. So if you take early submarine, it may be that you still need to have the correct class. This will cost us some industrial factories. Let's take the template. And pause, request accepted. And now we will be able to do the upgrade. Very good. Design, upgrades, done. And again, so yes, we will lose some speed and some range. It's because we added, we upgraded the torpedo module, which comes at its cost. So yeah, let's do it. So this way you can upgrade foreign templates. You need to mess around a bit with it. So here you have the upgrade icon. It's not a given that you'll actually be able to do the upgrade. And let's pick the other Royal Navy sub. So there's no icon here, and it's another ship template, but maybe. So sometimes you can still do the refitting. This seems like a terrible refit. So don't just blindly click it. Need to make sure that it's actually an upgrade. Good. We will lose the 5 naval XP, and hopefully double click it again. There you go. And this is a worthwhile upgrade. Go towards the ship queue. We will use the same trick here. So these are the ones we queued up. These are the ones we're building, and these are the ones we are now adding. So we will again go to our ships we are producing. It's this one, and shift click until we hit the convoys, and they're all queued up. So that is great. So yeah, you should try to do this with as much ships as possible. Let's pick one more. So the HMS Imogen, 1936 destroyer, EFGH class. 1936 destroyer. Every time you do this, you lose some factories. Huh? 1936 destroyer. So it could work with this one. It could work with this one. What's the difference? Yeah, it doesn't say. Always best to pick the matching with these are the cruisers. So EFGH class, it's just not mentioned. The description, nothing to be done about it. But you can try, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Oh no, here it is. Pause and pause. Oh, they're not really click. Not really accepting our request. A random hole. UK is thinking about it. Get one more go. They will accept. Ah, there we go. So let's check out these Royal Navy destroyers. ABCD class. Let's see if we can upgrade them. No anti-air, but they do have sonar. They also are focused more on torpedo hunting than submarine hunting. I'll leave them be. 5 points. The icon changes. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. Is it an improvement? It is an improvement. And they get removed from the queue. Even though this was again another hold, so sometimes you're in luck, sometimes you're not. You have to try a little bit. EFGH class, no stat changes. Yeah, looks like it's already there. No anti-air upgraded. Engine is okay, so this will be a cheap upgrade for improved anti-air. Anti-air plus 2. And oh, why are these listed? Yeah, let's give it a go. It's the same upgrade. Let's do it. Nothing. Here it did not work. So you could go through all these holes. You have to check it a bit. Cruisers. 1936 crew. What's on there? It's decent. Let's maybe try to do something on our capital ships. So we have a lot of these. The early cruiser HMS, early cruiser county class. The templates, if we can get it. So you cannot research anything. Nothing. I mean, you can. What you cannot do is not research anything from the carrier research line, and then get a high-tech carrier from the Japanese or the US. What was it? County class. The younger class. County class. Come on, UK. Please accept our request. How they did it. Picking the county class. It's a town class. Come on. So maybe we are lucky. Armor 2, engine 2, armor 3, so it's expensive. We should not upgrade. Yes, it's also the anti-air we will be upgrading. And we can... Yeah, we picked the wrong template. It's a town class. Click. Try again. They don't feel like doing it. Close some windows and try again. There you go. Town class. And actually, if you try to do the upgrade before, you lost the points, you didn't have the template, and you then get the template, typically you will get your proposed upgrades, which is not happening now. That's I'll leave it at 2. So now it should work. It does work. Here +2. Again, we lose some range and speed. So for 1 or 2 ships, you would not do this. Queue them all up, and then move your ships in the production queue, which is obviously more efficient. So we are upgrading quite a bit of collapsing all this stuff. We are upgrading quite a bit of ships. So this is what we are building, and this is what we are upgrading. It will take some time. So the more dockyards you have, the quicker this will be. So now is actually the point where you might start to think about increasing your dockyard size instead of your military factory count. So let's go for these upgrades. As you can see, we are refitting 18 ships. They are removed from the number here. And track it also here. And we are good to go for the next part, which will be naval engagement with the US. Let me check my notes here. Upgrading ships. Yes, good. Templates. We built some fleets. Talked about the carriers. The useful thing. At a certain point, you will start to wonder what am I going to do with all these factories. Good thing to do is to limit the amount of supply which travels by sea, because if it doesn't travel by sea, it cannot get intercepted at sea. So if you look at the supply map, quite a bit of stuff crossing the sea here, which maybe should not necessarily cross the sea. How can you fix this? By improving your railroad network. It will always pick the quickest route. So all this stuff from Oviedo, from Venezia, better to bring it to one port, preferably inside the Met, and then do everything by rail. So let's do that. We will increase these levels. Which level to pick? It depends. We need to try it. So I will move them centrally towards Madrid. Move out from Madrid towards this port, Barcelona, level 2, and also through Catalonia towards Toulon. We better pick a level 5 upgrade here. And yeah, this is so railway upgrades. They are fairly cheap, but you need to do a lot of them. I queue them up to the front. And what you should see once these are done is that the supply lines which cross over the sea, you will get fewer and fewer of them. So we should get rid of all these supply lines. We should get rid of all these supply lines. Well, maybe keep 2 of them. The supply lines in Italy, they also need some work. All upgrades to be done. Here, obviously, we should get rid of all these supply lines. In the US, yeah, we will need to check how we do it. Certainly, the Pacific, we will need to work on this because here you're even in the same country and it's sending supplies from one port to another within the same country. So definitely we will want to build some rail here, make it immediately a level 2. Same here, so 2 ports next to one another, and they would need to send supplies by ship, which sounds a bit strange. But don't go crazy with the rail, but it's a useful thing to change. So I'll move them also to the front of the queue. I leave the bigger upgrades at the bottom here. And with that, I think we can conclude this part. So we're upgrading the rails, upgrading the ports. I guess we've done one upgrade already, so that's good. We increased our size of our strike forces. We set up a robust system of managing our ships, allowing us to easily manage training of these ships and replacing untrained ships. We can easily build new task forces. We checked fully the planes, the plane loadout on all our carrier decks, on all of our carriers, in all of our task forces, in all of our fleets containing carrier-capable task forces. It's only one at the moment. Actually, what we could do is, we'll do that in the second part. What I will still do in this part, so we just got this justification on Iraq. I will start the war. It is guaranteed by Brazil, which is unfortunate, but I'll declare war anyway. Should have done it sooner. The war has been declared, which means that this, these guys can start their offensive. Not certain that they are backed by planes. How's our motorization level? It's fully motorized, doesn't matter. No, it's fully motorized, it doesn't matter. It is fully motorized. It's not motorized at all. And it is motorized. So, truck count. Yeah, we will need more trucks. These are filled. Yeah, no, they've replenished them. Good, we're pretty good. Waiting on some artillery. Otherwise, fine. Yes, the artillery is. We should add some military factories. So that's again 10 mils. 30, 40. Need 40 queued up. 15. 15, we need to queue up 35 more. But I guess that our infrastructure upgrades in Yugoslavia are done. So we will be able to install as much of them as we can there. It is not yet done. One. That's unfortunate. Put them in your puppets territories first. 1, 4, 8, 14, 15, 17, 21. What was it again? 30. And more. I try to keep the coastal areas for dockyards, because you can put dockyards only in coastal areas. 10 more, where to put them? 1, 5, 7, 8, 7. Let's make it a bit more so that I get a notification. So you can see that this requires a lot of production to do all this, but you will be managing your entire supporting infrastructure this way. Some outdated equipment, I guess. It's some of the plane, some of the ships. Yes. Deal with that later after we've done the upgrades. So, yeah, the planes. They're moving in here. I'm not sure if they have planes attached to them. They do not. Do we have anything in reserve? We do not. Do we have anything in reserve to use? 400 fighters, 89 guests. We'll train them for later. I like to train the planes in home territory. So that I can train them in large numbers and then move them towards the areas where I will need them. For now, I will just steal the scouting planes because the scouting is no longer needed. We control the Mediterranean and add them to this guy. Not certain if we have close air support available. Yeah, they're training Eastern Canada, Southern England. Yes. 0. These are all fighter wings which are totally destroyed. They're tactical bombers, actually. No, close air support, tactical bomber, which is why they were in the red. Tactical 200 remaining, and close air support 18.9. So yeah, looks like we don't have any available close air support. We could maybe pick this one. Yeah, it's assigned to the Green Army. Well, we'll just leave it at that.
Pronto, signore.
Storm the victory points. Or at least try to do so, so we can do some strategic bombing. We have the inner war large airframe. I would like to get the other one before we start doing it on the heavy weapons, but yeah, hesitating between the depth charge thrower and no, we'll go for the guns first. It's too quick. Pause up. So that
Pronto.
should be it.
Pronto all'azione.
Get these 2 victory points.
Attento.
Get this victory point. Then move to Baghdad.
Pronto, signore.
Yeah, move like this.
Attento.
Should have put the front line away from this, because now I need to
Avanzate.
fall in the allies, and I don't want to do that. And there you go. Iraq, 95% of victory points, so this will go quickly. Actually, the Brazilian Navy will try to mess with us. They're hunting our subs, so we will hunt their navy. Actually, I will create, we won't engage the US yet, but I will create a task force to guard these. Yeah, actually, we do have these guys. We need a bit more of them, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty good. It's a crab icon. Give them the order. Don't engage. Or replay. Yes, good. So we will be sending 3 of these strike forces to the US, maybe 1 to Japan, and 1 to keep in the EU. So I will create. You don't have to do it, but to make things manageable, I will create a separate EU task force. Find it an admiral. Order. Strike force. Blah, blah, blah. It's all good. I'll put them 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put 1 ship here in Lisbon. I'll put it here. And put the other one. You need to see where it's most efficient to use these guys. I'll maybe put the other one. I'll put it here. The patrols can be. They're patrolling the Met currently. We will patrol these areas. Let's patrol also the Met. So I don't have enough fleets to fully do it. But it's a matter of finding a good balance. So there we are. I guess we got away here. Let's check the Iraqi war. Should be, yes, 30% towards capitulation. It'll go fast now because we're storming the victory points. And with that, I think we can safely close off chapter. Machine assisted decryption. Very good that we have it. We can start decrypting some ciphers. I would like to get an Air Force count too. We have a naval battle, so this can be a ship-to-ship battle, or it can be something with convoys. There were convoys. We sank 2 convoys with our submarines. Actually, let's check the Brazilian Navy. Not sure if we have the intel. They have, yeah, about 20, 25 ships. They will be no match for us. So, next part, we will start a war with the US and with the Japanese and send some ships over. Thank you for watching, and with that, I would like to close off this part.